Over time, cockpits have evolved from a maze of analog dials to sleek digital screens. But why the change, and why do so many pilots still love those old-school instruments? Let's rewind to the 1970s. Music was groovy, and Star Wars was taking over movie theaters. The Cessna 172 Skyhawk was already one of the most popular training planes in the world. Step into the cockpit and you find a fully analog system with mechanical gauges. Known as a six-pack, these instruments were built to last without needing to rely on electricity. However, flying with steam gauges isn't always easy. And no, these planes don't actually run on steam. The term steam gauges is a light-hearted nickname for traditional analog flight instruments, drawing a parallel to the round dials found on steam-powered machinery. Pilots have to scan these instruments constantly throughout the entire flight. While manageable, this heavier workload can be taxing during complex maneuvers or long flights. Then came the glass cockpit revolution, a true game changer. No more dials, only digital displays consolidating all key flight data into a single primary flight display, accompanied by a multi-function display for navigation. These systems even allowed pilots to customize information based on their preferences, which made it simpler to monitor internal systems and external conditions. Glass cockpits first appeared in the late 80s on commercial airliners like the Airbus A320 and Boeing 747-400. By the early 2000s, this innovation had trickled down to private aviation. Now with the Garmin G1000 and integrated flight deck, we can bring digital tech to smaller aircraft like the Cessna 172 and the Cirrus SR-22. But here's the twist. Advanced cockpit displays weren't designed for the public at first. They were developed in the 60s for military jets like the F111D, where pilots needed instant, clear data to make split-second decisions in life or death situations. Today's modern systems go far beyond basic digital readouts. Synthetic vision systems provide a 3D view of the terrain, making it easier to navigate in low visibility or challenging environments. With real-time traffic alerts, terrain warnings, and weather overlays, pilots gain a clearer understanding of their surroundings and position. Could you imagine flying before GPS? Pilots had to rely on skill, ingenuity, and a little bit of luck. Legendary pilot Amelia Earhart and her navigator Fred Noonan used celestial navigation, piloting their course around the sun, moon, and stars. When the visibility was poor, they turned to dead reckoning, estimating their position using speed, direction, and time. Later, radio navigation aids like VOR stations became a lifeline, guiding pilots with ground-based signals. These methods required extraordinary focus and precision. Fortunately, with GPS today, a simple tap on a screen does most of the hard work. You might be wondering, if digital is so great, why hasn't analog disappeared?
Oh my God, this thing is so old.
For starters, it is incredibly reliable. Mechanical gauges might not be invincible, but they keep working even when the power goes out. This makes them a trusted backup in emergency situations. Analog demands a higher level of situational awareness and hands-on problem solving. Flying an older Cessna or Piper teaches you to develop a mental picture of your flight. In aviation, this is referred to as pilotage, which is the practice of navigating by using landmarks and checkpoints on the ground. There is no terrain warning yelling, "Whoa, up!" It's just you, your instruments, and your ability to interpret the world below. Traditional analog systems are also more affordable and easier to maintain, making them a popular choice for smaller aircraft. On the other hand, digital systems come with a hefty price tag. A Cessna 172 comes with an integrated flight deck and costs about $500,000. If you bought an older used plane and retrofitted it with the same technology, your total cost will be much lower. These cost considerations also play a role in flight training. Many schools still prefer analog systems for teaching because they are not only more affordable but also help new pilots build a strong foundation in fundamental flight principles and aircraft behavior. It's like learning to drive stick versus automatic in a car. Sure, automatics are easier, but when driving stick, you are more in tune with the vehicle. However, glass cockpits are increasingly popular in modern aircraft, especially for student pilots looking to fly advanced planes. These systems familiarize students with cutting-edge technology, setting them up for careers in a modern aviation world. But what if you didn't have to choose? Hybrid cockpits combine the best of both worlds. A modern Piper Archer, for example, blends digital screens with traditional mechanical dials, combining modern convenience with rugged reliability. Over the past 30 years, such innovations, alongside stricter safety rules and better training, have drastically reduced accident rates. Still, not everyone agrees on the best approach. Some pilots argue that digital automation makes aviators complacent. Others say that analog cockpits are just too demanding, increasing the chance of human error. So who's right? The truth is, both analog and digital have their strengths. Analog is dependable and tactile, while digital is sleek, efficient, and safer in complex environments. At the end of the day, it's not the tools, it's the pilot that makes the difference.